Thanks for joining me today. We're going to start thinking about Goliath in First Samuel. Today's hymn, what we're going to be thinking about is why, because he comes out and taunts Israel for 40 days. And Saul and people, they're afraid. And we'll talk about that more after our hymn. Today's hymn is the hymn If Jesus Goes With Me.
It may be in the valley where countless dangers hide. It may be in the sunshine that I in peace abide. But this one thing I know, if it be dark or fair, if Jesus is with me, I'll go anywhere. If Jesus goes with me, I'll go anywhere. 'Tis heaven to me where I may be if he is there. I count it a privilege here his cross to bear. If Jesus goes with me, I'll go anywhere.
Our passage is found in 1 Samuel chapter 17, where the Philistines gathered their armies together for battle. Saul and the men of Israel, they were gathered together. One's on one mountain, one's on the other mountain, a valley between them. Verse 3, Goliath comes out, huge mutant of a man. The giant, just absolutely enormous. He stood and cried out to the armies of Israel and said to them, "Why have you come out to line up for battle? Am I not a Philistine, and you the servants of Saul? Choose a man for yourselves, and let him come down to me. If he is able to fight with me and kill me, then we will be your servants. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then you shall be our servants and serve us." And the Philistine said, "I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man that we may fight together." When Saul and all Israel heard these words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. As we consider our hymn, If Jesus Goes With Me, and of course we know what David's going to say. David knows that the battle belongs to the Lord. But let's think today about why they weren't attacking. Here they were. They're up on this mountain. You can tell later in the account they're making all sorts of noise and they're hooping and hollering and shouting, but that's all they're doing. It's just noise. And when Goliath comes out and taunts them, you see pretty clearly what's going on. So why were they not fighting? Well, obviously, they're afraid. At the end of Revelation, when it talks about those who are lost, it talks about cowards. And we need to remember that if Jesus goes with us, we'll be all right. And perhaps more importantly, if we go with Jesus, we'll be all right. This is like Joshua, the Battle of Jericho as it is. And when the commander of the Lord's army, when Joshua says, "Are you on our side or their side?" And the commander of the Lord's army says, "No, I've come to lead the army. You follow. I don't follow you, you follow me." That we take courage, and that's what we must do, and not be cowards. But they're afraid from Saul downward. And I think that's the thing. The people, because when David kills Goliath, all of a sudden the battle's on and everybody goes. And you know, when Goliath says, "Send someone down here," right? Just mano a mano. And if he beats me, we'll serve you. And if I beat him, you'll serve us. Well, there was a fella up there on Israel's mountain who was head and shoulders above Israel. And who was it? That's Saul. Like, send him on down here. And I think that's what everybody was waiting for. Everyone's waiting for their champion. This is actually why you can tell if you study the account and read the account. This is why they wanted a king to go out and fight their battles for them. This is why they wanted a king. So it's like, okay, now you have a king, and it's like, well, you gonna do anything? Not really. Not here, at least. And so a lot of folks, they're not going because he's not going. But I also wonder if there's another mindset too. A lot of people, they won't go until everybody goes. And it's okay, well, if just one guy goes, if just one guy goes, some will follow. But the more people go, well, then others will follow. It's going to be en masse, as it is. And a lot of folks say, well, if they're not going, I'm not going. Not just if he's not going, I'm not going. If they're not going, I'm not going. And right now, no one's going. And then David shows up because the Lord, he's with the Lord. He's on the Lord's side. And we'll talk more about that in future studies. But if Jesus goes with me, I'll go anywhere. Where is that line? Is that in the chorus, I believe? Is heaven to me where'er I may be, if he is there. I count it a privilege here, his cross to bear. If Jesus goes with me, I'll go. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good day. Join us tomorrow for another portion of our daily praise.